You know, we usually think of technology as this force that just sweeps away the old to make room for the new. But what if a country flipped that script? What if they used the most advanced tech available, not to replace their traditions, but to save them? Well, that's exactly what's happening in Oman, and it is an absolutely incredible story. And this is the big question, right? It's something cultures all over the world are grappling with. When you're up against global trends, social media, and streaming, how do you make sure the really unique stuff, the songs, the games, the stories that make you who you are, don't just get lost in the noise? I mean, this slide really lays it all out. On one side, you've got this massive, powerful world of global digital entertainment. And on the other, you have these local, deeply personal traditions. And they're both fighting for the exact same thing, the hearts and minds of the next generation. For Oman, this isn't just some academic debate. The risk is very, very real. They're facing this massive challenge of how to pass on their intangible culture, the very soul of their nation, to kids who are, let's be honest, digital natives. They live on their phones and tablets. But here's the brilliant part. Instead of seeing technology as the enemy, Oman decided to make it their greatest ally. They've come up with this super smart solution that actually uses the tools of the modern world to make their cultural identity stronger, not weaker. So the secret sauce to their whole strategy is this idea of gamification. Now, this isn't about, adding points to make chores fun. No, this is way cooler. They're taking beloved traditional Omani folk games and completely rebuilding them from the ground up as these awesome, interactive 3D video games for kids. And this quote from Salwa bint Saif al-Rashidi, who's helping lead the charge, just hits the nail on the head. It's a total win-win. Kids get to play these really fun games that sharpen modern skills like problem solving, and at the exact same time, the country is creating this incredible digital archive of its own heritage. And I want to be super clear here. This is not some small little side project. This whole initiative is a core part of Oman Vision 2040. That's their massive, long-term strategic plan for the entire country. They are betting big on this idea that fusing technology and tradition is the key to their future. So how does this actually look in practice? Let's get into the specifics of how they're taking these games that were once played in a sandpit and giving them a new life in the world of pixels. Okay, so take a game called Anbar. It's a lot like the classic game Seven Stones. Traditionally, kids would stack up some rocks, grab a ball, and try to knock them down. The digital version? It keeps the exact same rules, but drops you right into these gorgeous, stylized 3D environments that look and feel like Oman. But here's the really clever part. It's not just about saving the game. The digital version is built to teach the exact same skills as the original. We're talking teamwork, strategy, thinking on your feet. They're not just preserving the rules of the game, they're preserving the life lessons the game teaches. And it's the same story with another game, Al Sayyad, which means the hunter. It's a super fun, high-energy tagging game. Well, the app version totally captures that same competitive thrill, making sure those cultural values of teamwork and good sportsmanship get passed on right through a smartphone screen. So when you zoom out, what's really happening here is that by turning these cultural practices into digital code, Oman is basically creating a permanent backup of its social DNA. They're embedding the instincts of cooperation and strategy into a format that their kids already understand and love. But they're not stopping there, not even close. This whole thing goes way deeper than just playground games. Oman is now using immersive virtual reality to save cultural traditions that are way more complex. So you can kind of see their strategy has layers. Step 1 was the 3D folk games, making simple stuff accessible and fun. But step 2 is the next level, using VR to simulate these big, intricate cultural and sporting events that you just couldn't capture in a simple phone game. And the stuff they're building is just wow. Imagine putting on a headset and not just watching, but actually taking part in the ancient tradition of date harvesting, or an experience that puts you right in the middle of a thundering, high-stakes Omani camel race. It's incredible. And if you need any more proof of how significant this is, get this. Those date harvesting practices, they're not just a local tradition. They've been recognized by UNESCO as part of the intangible cultural heritage of all of humanity. So Oman is using virtual reality to preserve a global treasure for everyone. So when you put it all together, what do you have? It's so much more than a cool tech project. What Oman is creating here is a genuine blueprint, a model for how any culture, anywhere, can protect its most precious traditions in this new digital age. The goals here are just so smart. Yeah, they're safeguarding their identity and promoting their heritage. But the masterstroke, the real genius, is making it all relevant to young people. They're making sure these traditions are actively lived and played, not just gathering dust in a museum exhibit somewhere. And really, that's the bottom line. This whole thing is about refusing to let the past become a static memory. Instead, they are actively transforming it into a vibrant, living 3D experience that's ready for the future. It's an amazing model, and it kind of leaves you with this one big question. It makes you think. What about your own culture? What story, what song, what game from your own heritage could be brought to life like this? What part of your history could technology help you save?